1978 Ibanez guitar, made in Japan.
Didn't Jerry Garcia play guitar like this?
Yes, matter of fact, he did. His had some different switches and stuff like that.
So you could switch into hippie mode?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. The guitar is in pretty good shape for 36 years old. You can tell it's been played, but it's not been abused. I want to sell it today because I just don't play anymore. This is about as rock and roll as I get.
Any particular reason you wanted an Ibanez, or?
I have several different ones. This is just one that sits around and collects dust.
When they started, they made just acoustics up until like the 60s or 70s, when they kind of switched focus and went to electric. Kiss played them, Slipknot uses them. They're just as good as Fenders or Gibsons, but they've always been like looked down on because they're Japanese.
Right.
During the late 1970s, Ibanez completely shifted gears with their guitar designs. They abandoned their classic look and went more modern. A guitar like this can go anywhere from a few $100 to a few thousand.
So has any work been done to it that you know, or?
When I bought it, it was pretty dirty. I guess it hung on the guy's wall for a long time and collected dust.
So what are you looking to do with it?
Looking to sell it.
Any idea how much you want out of it?
I'd like to get 6.
I'll tell you what, man, let me call a buddy of mine down to come take a look at it. It's just, anytime I buy a guitar from the 70s, I like him to see it. I mean, I bought guitars that you would think were worth $200 that were worth $2,000. I just want to just have him take a look at it.
Sure.
Have a look around, man. I'll grab you when he gets here.
All right, thanks. I'd love a second opinion. I think the expert's gonna let them know that the guitar is really worth more than I'm asking.
What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
We brought you a guitar to nerd out on.
All right. Later 70s Ibanez, a little musician. That's what they called this one in. What do you need to know?
I just don't know that much about Ibanez's, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, Ibanez is a good company. That, you know, Steve Vai uses Ibanez's. Jerry Garcia's been known to use Ibanez. They have a lot of bigger name artists that use their stuff. Kind of a little bit associated now with a little bit more like metal. They're really well-made guitars. They had like the Musician series and the Artist series. The Musician was like the working man's kind of guitar, and then the Artist was a little bit fancier. Real similar guitars in design, but you'd see like the Artist would have binding, and like they had this inlay they called the Tree of Life, which was like vines and leaves that went all the way up the neck and stuff like that. Ibanez today is still one of the top dogs in the guitar world. They're used by thousands of guitar players. They've always been a really consistent, good guitar company. They had a lot of kind of cool design features on these too, man, like the neck-through design. The piece of wood that the neck is made of goes all the way through the whole body. A lot of people think it makes the guitar sustain better. You mind if I pick it up and play it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool little guitar, man.
So what's it worth, man?
Well, you know, the Artist series of these, they'll go up into, you know, the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 range. The Musician series, there is a good collector's market for these and stuff. So really clean ones of these, probably hovering in that, you know, $1,000, $1,200, depending on options. But the knobs are changed. Ibanez made a real similar knob, but it had a little rubber piece. Looks like this one's had a little repair or something there. This one, in the condition it's in, you know, it's got the little crack thing going on there and everything. I'd say it's probably, you know, $750 or so.
Cool. Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming down.
All right.
Take care, buddy.
All right.
All right. Catch you guys later. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah.
Corey gets this guitar, a player will buy it. It's a good guitar. It plays really good. It sounds nice. There are fanatical Ibanez collectors out there.
$750.
Okay.
I'm not giving him $750. That's what we can sell it for. I'll give you $500, man.
I was hoping a little bit more than that. About 6.
It's very rare someone comes in and asks for $600 when something's worth $750. I mean, it kind of throws me off my game here.
Right.
How about $550 so I feel like I won?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, cool. Chum will write you up, and take care, man.
All right,
Appreciate it.
I'll meet you up here at the counter.
All right, cool, thanks. I feel good. It's a fair price, and I think that's a good down payment on guitar of my dreams, which is a Les Paul.
I have some vintage Aerosmith T-shirts from the 1978 tour.
Wow, really?
This shirt here is signed. This one here is not signed, but it is a very rare shirt because it has Steven Tyler's name and my name in the label.
So what, you did the merchandise for him, or?
Well, actually, I was the original guitar player in the band. I started the band with Steven back in 1970.
You were the original guitar player?
Yes, I was. I came to the pawn shop today to sell some T-shirts that didn't fit me anymore. I made them myself when I was the marketing director for Aerosmith. One is more unique than the other because one is a signed shirt. My mother sold her house about 15 years ago, and when I cleaned it out, I found them in a box up in her attic, and I hadn't seen them for 20 years. I need the money. I want to go back to college, and I can't make any money stripping.
Wow. So how long were you with them?
I was in the band for the first 2 years, then I left, and then I came back, and I was their marketing director for the next 9 years.
That's pretty cool. I bet you got a lot of stories hanging out with those guys in the 70s.
Some stuff I can talk about, actually. Some stuff I can't talk about, but...
All right, well, tell me about these things.
These T-shirts are very rare because aside from the regular bootleg tour shirts that we made, these shirts were made special for one show only. This one over here was made for the Boston Garden, and Steven designed this shirt with me, and we designed it with a little pocket on the sleeve over here so we could bring stuff into the show, you know, and we put both our names in the label.
Okay, and this one?
I brought the shirt to them and showed them a new design that I wanted them to use, and they hated it. They said it was too poppy for them. They were hard, and they wanted something a little more edgy, so they said they were not going to use the shirts. We only made it for one venue.
Okay, it looks like it's signed by the band.
It is signed by the band.
And you got Joe Perry.
And this is Steven's signature down here.
It says, please something. Do you know what that says?
Yeah, I know what it says. You want to know what it says? It says, please, Ray.
Okay. And this was made out to you?
It was made out to me, yes. I was supposed to wear it around.
It's pretty cool to be able to talk to an original member of Aerosmith. They are absolute rock legends, and 1970s rock and roll memorabilia can go for a lot of money. I just have to figure out how much money that is. These things are worth a lot of money now. You know, I went to concerts in the late 70s, and, you know, I got a lot of T-shirts. The thing was, you wore them for a year, and then you used them to clean your motorcycle, because no one ever thought they were going to be worth any money. How much do you want for them?
Well, I was looking for $2,000 for this one and $1,000 for this one.
Whoa.
I doubt you're going to find another one of each of these anywhere in the world. I only made about 300 of each of these shirts, because they were both test runs, and I don't know how many have survived.
I'm gonna call a friend of mine. This guy knows everything there is to know about rock and roll memorabilia. Let me get him down here and have him take a look at these, and if there's money to be made, we'll talk.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Hang out for a few minutes, I'll be right back.
Okay. I don't mind getting a second opinion, but I was in the merchandise business for a lot of years, and I don't really think anybody knows more about Aerosmith merchandise than myself.
We have two 1978 Aerosmith tour shirts, and they were both only at one venue.
78. If people remember Aerosmith's history, they had their first big hits in the early 70s, and then they just kind of spiraled down into a rock and roll hole. Luckily, the hip-hop movement brought them back.
Yeah, it was Run DMC.
Yeah, and they'd revived Walk This Way, and their career bounced back. Aerosmith, a classic American rock. In the 70s, they were America's answer to the Rolling Stones. They were as rock and roll as it gets. So I guess you want me to tell you what these are worth.
Yeah.
70s vintage T-shirts. They're highly collectible, but it depends on the band. This one,
This is the only shirt that Steven ever designed with his name in the label.
let's have a look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'd say this one probably goes $300 to $400.
Where?
Where?
Yeah, where?
Where, if you put that in an auction.
I think you're undervaluing it just a little bit.
Okay. So this one's signed.
It's signed by the whole band. Sure it is. Take a good look at it, yeah.
It's got a great look. It's genuine. It looks been through the wars. And so with all the signatures on there, you could get $1,500 to $2,000 for that one. I hope I didn't burst your bubble too much.
Not at all. No, no, no.
Okay. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I felt that the second one, they appraised for $1,500 to $2,000, was in the ballpark. The first one, I think he undervalued it.
So, $1,000 for the pair?
How about 1,500?
No, $1,000 for the pair.
They're worth a little more than that. How about 1,400?
I give you $1,100. It takes work to sell them, and just a little bit more work than most. So if you want 11, I'll give you 11.
I'll take this. I'll take 1,100.
Okay. Thanks a lot, man.
Okay.
All right. Leave them right here. I'll come and get them. Let's do some paperwork,
Okay.
right? $1,100 is a little steep for 2 T-shirts, but I'm really glad I got them for myself or the pawn shop.
Well, I have a mandolin. I want to sell it.
So where did you get this?
It was my grandmother's.
It's a Gibson. It's an old Gibson. I think this is an A2 Fancy or something like that.
He doesn't know everything about mandolins. He likes to believe he does.
Okay, no, it's just, I hate you.
I'm coming down to the pawn shop today to try to sell my Gibson mandolin. We're gonna get married this week, so I'd like to have some extra cash. I'm hoping to get at least $1,500 out of it, maybe.
It is a really nice mandolin. It's like turn of the century, as a matter of fact. When this thing was made, it was really expensive. Gibsons were they were the best, plain and simple. This is really fancy for this model. That's real tortoiseshell right there. These are ivory keys. When people think of Gibsons, they think of great guitars. But Orville Gibson, who started the company, was actually a mandolin maker. Mandolins look like a guitar, but they play completely different. They have 4 pairs of strings, guitars have 6 strings. And they make that twangy bluegrass sound that doesn't sound anything like a guitar. I know this particular mandolin, normally go for around $1,500, $2,000.
Okay.
But there are mandolins in this model that are worth like $100,000. And it all depends on who made it, and there's a way to know.
Oh, okay.
If you don't mind, I'd like to get my buddy in here, have him take a look at this thing.
Okay.
He can tell us all about it.
Okay.
And, you know, maybe we got a jackpot here.
I really hope this is a $100,000 mandolin.
We'll see.
That'd be awesome.
I can't wait to have this mandolin checked out. If it turns out to be one of the super rare ones, this lady could have a serious payday. What's up, man? This is it.
This is an old one, really old. Jesse from Cowtown Guitars here in Vegas. The best part about my job is I get to deal with vintage guitars every day, and something I love. Doesn't even feel like I go to work every morning. It's in really, really good shape. Wow. In the early 1900s, Gibson was the place to get a mandolin from. These instruments were 100% handmade. This inlaid pickguard they only did for 2 years. 1908, they went to a regular style pickguard with a post.
Okay.
So that puts this at 1907. So this is over 100 years old. It's in insanely good condition for its age. This is 100% original. There hasn't been any refinishing or anything done to this instrument.
I know there was some guy who made these things right around when this was made, and if he made it, it's worth like 100 grand.
Okay, well, that was Lloyd Loar. Having a Lloyd Loar vintage Gibson mandolin is extremely rare. His stuff was meticulously well built, and most Loar mandolins bring well over $100,000. Well, this is an A-body style. It's teardrop shaped. Lloyd Loar built the F mandolins. The F body had a real big scroll up here. They were the fanciest, most high-end Gibson ones you could get.
Okay.
This is not one of his mandolins.
So what is it worth?
Most of the ones you see, like I said, have had repair work. They usually fall right into the $3,000 range. I think in this condition, you could easily get $4,200 to $4,500.
Wow.
Okay. Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate it.
No problem. See you later. Take care.
So how much were you looking to get out of it?
I was thinking around 4,000.
I'm thinking more like 2,500 bucks.
25.
I don't have a million people a day walking in there, hey, you got a 1907 Gibson mandolin.
True. 3,500.
2,500.
2,700. It's in really good shape.
It's in beautiful shape. I'll tell you what, I'll give you 2,600 bucks, and it doesn't leave a lot of room for me.
27.
2,700. All right, you wanna go right her up?
Me right over here.
So I just sold my guitar for $2,700, and I'm so excited. We're gonna gamble it all, I think.
What do we got here?
I got some records I want to sell.
Oh, some records.
And what is this now?
Hotel California, one of the most popular songs of all time. That's exactly what it is.
No, chum, I'm asking you, what's the deal with the dog strapped to your chest?
Oh, I didn't feel like holding her anymore.
I'm here at the pawn shop today, and I'm trying to sell my really cool album collection. I have 12 records in my collection. I acquired these albums over the years, but also my grandpa gave me some of those in his estate. I'm looking to get $500 for my vintage record collection.
Beetlejuice, now this is cool. One of the biggest movies I remember as a kid. I mean, Michael Keaton was so cool in this movie, and the soundtrack was just awesome. I mean, Danny Elfman made this album. He produced it, and it complements the movie so well. You remember this song, Deo?
I remember that song.
You used to sing that song all the time in junior high.
No, I never sang that song all the time in junior high.
All right,
But
maybe
I
once or
remember
twice.
the movie. Suicidal Tendencies.
Now, there is a band from our childhood. They got a lot of play on MTV from Institutionalized. You remember, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is a good album. Johnny Burnett and the Rock and Roll Trio. I ain't never heard of it, but just because I ain't never seen it don't mean it's not good. I mean, this one actually looks like it's in pretty good condition. Look at that. Oh, that's a beauty. It's even got some kind of poster or something in there.
Beatles, boy band.
The Beatles, this isn't just any Beatles album. This is the first Beatles album released in America. Introducing the Beatles. I think this album came out in 1963. They come from England, then they just took over the freaking rock world in America. This is one of the hardest albums to get. I know for a fact this album is worth money. A few $100s easy. Now, how much are you looking for?
I want to get $500 out of them.
500 is a little steep.
Hey, chum, before anything, let's get somebody down here that actually knows what he's doing when it comes to stuff like this.
You're looking at them.
I mean, you might know the bands or the artists, but you don't know anything about records. You don't know what ones are collectible. You don't know if any of them are fake. You don't even know what sport you're playing, chum.
Pinky, tell him. He's gonna eat his words on that. Could you do $250 for this collection?
Nah, dude, you're breaking my heart. How about $480?
Chum, I told you to get somebody down here to look at the records.
I know I can make money if you're willing to sell them for $345. I know I can make money at that.
This is all 100% you, buddy.
And Pinky's getting really excited. I know she wants these albums. $345? Final offer.
I'll go for it.
All right. I guess I'll go write them up, Big Hoss. You go ahead and study these records and enjoy them. Won't be the last time you're seeing them. Come with me.
For the record, I only agreed to $345 because Pinky liked it.
I came to Southern California with Rick to check out a muscle car he wanted to see, so I brought these albums along that I had previously bought in the shop to take him to our record expert, Chris.
Yo, yo.
How you doing?
How are you?
Pretty good. Everything
Long time
good?
no- Yeah, everything's great.
I paid $345 for the stack, so I'm hoping that he tells me I have a handful of gold instead of a bunch of one-hit wonders. Dig in there. That's what you do with
All right,
records.
so-
You dig, right?
So we got Duke Ellington and John Coltrane. If this was a first issue, you're looking at about $200, but it's a reissue. It's probably $20.
Okay.
This guy, Suicidal Tendencies.
Classic band, right?
If you grew up in the 80s in Los Angeles, you knew this band. This is good.
First edition?
First.
It is?
This is a good one.
Oh, yeah.
This is good. $100 for that, for sure.
Okay.
Easy sell.
Okay.
All day long. You'll have 20 people waiting to buy that guy.
The Beatles, this has to be good, right?
This is their first record. Unfortunately, this is a bootleg. It's not real. Still a great record, but probably $15 to $20 on that one.
Beetlejuice.
I love Beetlejuice. You know, this is really hard to find. Danny Elfman, one of my favorites. This thing looks, oh my God, are you kidding me? Whoa. Somehow, the sun got a hold of this one, and it's warped. I don't know what happened to that thing, but someone left it in the car, probably. 50 turns into $5 on this guy. Holy moly. Banger city right here. This is Johnny Burnett. If this is real, this is a big deal record.
Okay, I didn't know about that record.
Without this record, there's no punk rock. Something special happened in Memphis in 1954, 1955. You had these guys doing hillbilly music, combining with R&B, creating something called rockabilly. Elvis did rockabilly, but these guys were doing like what I would call that punk rock vibe, you know, with 1 foot forward and just strumming, you know?
Yeah.
This is the holy grail of rock and roll.
I'm feeling a $1,000 record on my hand.
Whoa.
Is that a good O or a bad O?
It is.
Oh, come on, Daddy.
This is great.
You have one in your
We can
collection?
put all this away. This is all you need, right here.
All right.
This is all you need.
And the value is?
About $1,500. because no one has this record.
Okay.
Everyone wants this record.
All right, Corey can eat my shorts.
Oh, all day long.
He didn't think I made a good deal,
Oh,
but
no. You're good.
I'm good.
This is it. This is it.
I'm in the gold. Beetlejuice put me in the toilet.
Yep.
Johnny Burnett put me in the gold.
That's right, baby.
I'm on a golden throne now. That's a quick profit for me, especially
What'd you-
since the value's in about 3 of them.
What'd you pay for it?
$345.
Baby, that was awesome. Chum Stock today, it started off a little slow, but it ended up with a lot of heat. That Johnny Burnett record, Off the Chain, he's got $1,600 worth of records, so he's definitely in the money, and I can't wait to see Corey's face. That's a great
That
deal.
might deserve one more horn. I mean, it's a pretty good deal, you know? Yeah, there we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be doing this all week.
Whose birthday is it this time?
It's not a birthday. It's a celebration for you, Big Hoss. Do these look familiar?
What are those?
These are the records I bought that you tried to get me not to buy for $345.
The ones you knew nothing about and just completely gambled with the pawn shop's money with?
Oh, no, I knew a lot about all this. And that's why they're worth $1,600, because I did know. And remember what you said?
What? What did I say?
You don't even know what sport you're playing, Chum.
Pinky, tell him. He's gonna eat his words on that. Those are your words.
You don't even know what sport you're playing.
Touchdown.
Which one is worth money?
All of them, but this one's worth $1,000.
Johnny Burnett. You knew Johnny Burnett would be worth $1,000.
Remember I told you this album looks really cool?
Okay, congratulations. I'm happy for you. Please
So?
don't just throw the dice and gamble every time you see records, though.
Can we have some cake now?
Big Hoss gets first bite. They are his words.
I know, but I paid for it.
Which word do you want to eat?
Who cuts cake in the middle?
Here.
Because that was all
That's
about
your
you.
word.
That's you.
What do you think, Big Hoss?
Yeah.
Next time, we'll get a cake made in the shape of a crow.
So what have you got here, sir?
The Sonic boombox.
We could have a dance-off with this thing.
Yeah, no.
Coming down to the pawn shop today to try to sell my vintage boombox. I got the boombox probably 30 years ago. Somebody left it at my house after a party. I'd like to get $250 out if I could.
So how old is it?
Mid-70s.
Does it work?
Works good.
Back in the 70s and 80s, the bigger was better. You don't need that much space for music anymore.
This was about style, boss.
Yeah,
I think
it's
he
way
was-
out of style. These boomboxes been annoying the out of me since the late 70s. They were popular because they were stereo, they were portable, and they were really loud. Somebody turn it off.
What?
Turn it off.
It's a generation gap. He doesn't understand.
Walkmans and iPods changed the way that we listen to music, but these machines are now considered classics, and people like Chumley go bananas over them. He knows their market value, so I'll go ahead and let him make this deal.
So you want to sell it or pawn it?
Sell it.
Okay, what were you looking for?
$250.
$250? This antenna here is broken. That's off. This here is coming up. It's missing a button here. No, I'd be willing to spend about 75 on it.
100.
How about 85, man?
How about 90?
I can do 90.
All right, man.
I'll meet you over there to do the paper.
All right, man. The young guy turned it on and kind of helped me sell it to him. I settled on $90. I'm happy with that.